pupils. Today we will discuss the dihybrid cross. So what is dihybrid cross? We all know that it is the cross when actually we consider two characters. Earlier we have done monohybrid cross where we considered one character during our cross. So we are analyzing the result of one character clear after the cross, and now here we will consider two characters while we are making our cross, and so we will analyze the gamete formation as well as the result according to the two characters which are there in the cross. So it is a dihybrid cross where two characters have been considered clear. So we are considering two characters at a time, and we are analyzing how the gamete will form, what will be the result in the F1 offsprings, next what will be the gametes of the F2, and what will be the results of the F2 also. Now here is a question is given, red flowered tall plant, a red flowered tall plant which is homozygous dominant. So we know dominant, what is dominant? Dominant is that character which will be expressed clear whenever it is present in spite of the other factor. And homozygous means when both the trait are similar. So we can consider red, since red is the dominant here, we can consider R, capital R for red, clear, and it will be capital R as because the condition is homozygous. For tall also, since tall is dominant, we will take capital T, and we will consider capital T as the tall is dominant and homozygous here. So one of the parent will be capital R and capital T. The genotype of one parent will be capital R and capital T. Now what about the other? Is crossed with a plant which is white flowered, clear white flowered dwarf plant. So obviously since these are the dominant, so other one will be recessive, so white is recessive here, dwarf is recessive here. So we are considering small r for white since it is recessive, and small t for dwarf since it is also recessive. So, and we all know that the recessive traits can express themselves only at the homozygous condition. So their other parent will be, the genotype of the other parent will be small t, small t. Now the gamete of this parent will be capital R, capital T, and this parent will be small r, small t. So as a result, the fusion of these two gametes produce an offspring which is having the genotype of capital R, small r, capital T, and small t. Clear? So since these two are fusing. Now since there is capital R, the plant will be red flowered, and since there is capital T, it will be tall enough. So phenotype, that means what we see, will be red and red flowered tall plant. All the offsprings will be red flowered tall plants. Now what about the genotype? If you see the red one, it is not homozygous, it is not pure red. Clear? If you consider the tall also, that is not a homozygous or pure tall. So in both cases, it is heterozygous red flowered tall plant or hybrid red flowered tall plant. Now this is about the F1 or first filial generation. Now we will move to the F2 or the second filial generation. Now if we go on for the F2, the parents will be, because we are selfing this, so both the parents will have the same genotype, because this is the parent plant, clear, this is the parent source where from we are taking the parent plant. So all the parents will have the similar genotype, capital R, capital T, small t. So in P2 the parents will be capital R, capital T, and small t, as because we are selfing this. Now these, what type of gametes can be produced from here? We can have capital R, capital T, capital R, small t, small r, capital T, small r, small t. So we can see during the gamete formation, they independently separate from each other and can join with the other one. Clear? So capital R came with capital, it was there with the capital T, but during gamete formation, capital R can combine with small t also. So we can see that they are independently, each of the trait or each of the factor can independently separate the other and join to separate the other from the other. So assort independently from each other during the formation of gamete. So during gamete formation, we will see that the factors are getting separated from each other and can form all types of combination during the gamete formation, separate from each other and form. So we can see, we can form the gamete in this manner. We can take the factors for the flower color in one hand and the factors for the height in one hand, and we can combine each of them so that all types of combination is possible combination we will get. So these will be the gametes of the F2. So here we have the gametes of the F2, clear, one capital R, capital T, capital R, small t, small r, capital T, small r, small t. And here with the other parent. So this is for the one gametes produced by the one parent, and this is the gamete produced by the other parent. Now the gamete, there is all possible. They can rearrange themselves and they can fuse in all random fusion may occurs, and so we can get all possible combination. So this can fuse with this, forming red and tall flower, red flower tall plant. This can fuse with this, that will also form red flower tall plant. This can fuse with this, forming red flower tall plant, and this can fuse with this, will forming red flower tall plant. Now you can see here capital R small t can fuse with this, clear. So second series capital R small t that can fuse with this. Since there are capital R and capital T, so red flower tall plant. Here the red flower but small t, that means dwarf plant. Red flower tall plant again, clear. So when this is combining with this, and the red flower dwarf plant. Now here in the next series we find that small r capital T here and capital R capital T. So it will be red flowered tall plant. Then red flower, again red flower, since capital R capital T, so red flower tall plant. This is the white flowered tall plant, clear, since capital R capital T, and here also a smaller capital T, and here also smaller capital C. So it will be white flowered tall plant. Here also we will find white flowered tall plant because capital T is there, so it will be tall. And then it will be again red flower tall plant, clear, since capital R capital T is there. Then red flowered dwarf plant because all small t's. Then white flower tall plant when we are combining this with this, so all random fusion will be there. And then smaller small t, then smaller small t, so it will produce white flower dwarf plant. So what we are getting at the end, we are getting that there may be the phenotypic ratio. That means what we are seeing, there may be red flower tall plant, that will be 9 of them are red flower tall plant. Here we find red flower tall plant, here we will find red flower tall plant, and here we will find red flower, clear, red flower tall plant, these two. So there are 9 red flower tall plants. Next we will find the red flower dwarf plant. We will find here it is red flower dwarf plant, clear, here it is red flower dwarf plant, and here it is red flower dwarf plant. So this triangle is having red flower dwarf plant. Next we find, if we go on for the white flower tall plant, so here is white flower tall plant, here is one of the white flower tall plant, and here is another white flower tall plant. So this will be 3 there are white flower tall plants. And finally the white flower dwarf plant, there is only one white flower dwarf plant. So phenotypic ratio will be 9:3:3:1. Now so 9:3:3:1 will be the phenotypic ratio. 9 red flower tall plant, 3 red flower white plant, 3 white flowered tall plant, and finally one white flowered dwarf plant. So 9 red flowered tall plant, 3 red flowered dwarf plant, 3 white flowered tall plant, and finally one white flowered dwarf plant. So phenotypic ratio will be 9:3:3:1, 6 from 16 combinations. Now if we arrange them properly, we can find this is the triangle which is depicting the red flower tall plant. This is the triangle that is depicting the red flower dwarf plant. This is the triangle that is depicting the white flower tall plant, and finally this is the white flower dwarf plant. Now the law that has been deduced from this is the law of independent assortment. Clear? Law of independent, Mendel deduced law of independent assortment from this cross. Clear? So dihybrid cross, according to which this law, two factors, clear, the two factors of each character assort, two factors of each character. So think here the flower color and the height, two factors of each character assort or separate out independent of the factors of the other character. So we have seen that here capital R, capital T was there initially, but it has assorted here independently. It has assorted during the gamete formation. It has assorted with small t also. So independently assort independently of the other factor, the factors of the characters of the other factor, or factors of the other characters at the time of gamete formation, and get randomly rearranged. And then, so time of gamete formation, they are getting independently. Capital R is assorting with getting separated from capital T and is separate out independent and forms comes together with a small t also, or small r is coming out from small t and is getting arranged with the capital T also. So during gamete formation, so they assort independently and are get randomly rearranged during the formation of offspring. During the formation of offspring, this is combining with this, this is combining with this, this is combining with this. So there is random rearrangement of this during the formation of the offspring, which may produce both the new combination and the parental combination. Here we can see that red flowered tall plant is a parental combination, white flowered dwarf plant is a parental combination, but we have got already two new combinations, that is red flowered dwarf plant and white flowered tall plant. So these are the, by this random rearrangement, they can form the new combinations also, now combination of characters also. So this is about the law of independent assortment which Mendel deduced from this dihybrid cross.